Hi everyone, Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I've been using iOS 26.1 for the past couple of weeks at this point. And in this video, I'm going to give you my overall experience running iOS 26.1. I'm going to talk about my battery life, battery health, and performance. And also, during the video, I'm going to share my Geekbench score in the video as well. But first, a little bit of news here. Last Sunday, I did my 2-hour live stream for the 1-year anniversary of my channel, Hawkins Tech. And I was hoping for it to be a Q&A live stream, in which it wasn't, but I spent that time reacting to videos. But it was still a great live stream, and I've officially been on YouTube now for 1 whole year. I started my channel on November 16th, 2024, last year, and last Sunday was November 16th, 2025. So I've completed my first full year as a YouTuber. And honestly, it is a very good journey making iOS and tech videos since I have a passion for Apple products. And of course, the iPhone. Now, as far as my performance running iOS 26.1, if we do some scrolling here, I usually show this part a little bit later. Scrolling seems nice and good, but I feel like there was some lag, so let's try that again here. This phone does lag. You can see I just activated reachability. This phone does lag from time to time, but if we go in a podcast here, we give everything a second to load here. Everything loads up nice and fast. Again, there will be some lag from time to time because the iPhone 12, which I have, is an older model. But for the most part, everything loads up nice and fast. As far as battery life, well, if I go into settings, battery health and charging, my battery health is at 80%. It's been there for a couple months. Now, if we go into view all battery usage here, as you can see, my battery health for today is, I will say, correct this time around. I've had 28 minutes screen on time, 17 minutes screen off time. Taking a look at yesterday, though, 8 hours, 50 minutes screen on time, 58 minutes of screen off time. Now I'll go ahead and share that battery health on my... Taking a look at battery health on my iPad here. If I go into my battery settings, let me just resize this window. We give it a second to load. Let me go into view all battery usage here. 19 minutes screen on time, 7 minutes screen off time. Looking at it from yesterday, 3 hours, 49 minutes, screen on, 5 minutes of screen off time. Now I'm going to go ahead and run a Geekbench score. Geekbench completed, and taking a look at it on my iPhone, I scored 2052 for single core, 4648 for multi-core. Now, if we take a look at when I ran it last week, I scored 2074 single core, 4272 for multi. And on my iPad, I scored 2122 for single core, 4928 for multi-core. And let's take a look at last week when I ran this. 2121 single core, 5041 for multi-core. One thing I will say is every time I run a Geekbench score on here, the first number and on the iPad is always in the 21, and on my iPhone, it's in the 20s. So hopefully at some point we see a different number. We get even some higher Geekbench scores, and this will test overall performance of how this update performs. As far as anything else from Apple, well, the next update is iOS 26.2 Developer Beta 4, in which I would not expect next week because next week is Thanksgiving. Now, Apple could slide in on the 24th or 25th, iOS 26.2 Beta 4, or even the 26th. That's if Apple is still at work on Thanksgiving, or before Thanksgiving, rather. But I have a feeling that Apple will take the break off the day before Thanksgiving, or they said a whole week. But I always feel like they will skip the week entirely. So that means we could see iOS 26.2 Beta 4 the week of December 1st. And when it does release, I will go into my settings, my beta updates, and I will be installing iOS 26.2 Beta 4. That's considered a late stage beta, and I will be updating to it, and I will make a video for my YouTube channel as well as my TikTok channel. And I will also post the screenshot on X, formerly known as Twitter, where I post that now as well. Then the week of December 8th, we can see iOS 26.2 RC. I will update and make a video on that as well. Then a final release on the 15th. Now, every time I've been installing iOS betas, when the RC or the public release comes out, and this happened with iOS 26 and iOS 26.1. And I believe this happened because Apple updated the build number going from the public release, or the RC version rather, to the public release. I don't know if they're going to do the same thing with iOS 26.2, but if they do, then everyone's going to get an update. All you have to do is go into your settings, go into beta updates, and turn off beta updates. Then you will see an update, but I will try that on the 15th. And if I find out that there is an update, then I'll just screenshot the update from there. However, if there isn't an update, then I'm going to keep the RC screenshot, and I'm going to use that and screenshot, or use that in the What's New video that you guys will see on December 15th. Also, that same week, I believe December 17th, we should get iOS 26.3 Beta 1. Now, at this point of the year, do not expect another beta after that. Once we get iOS 26.3 Beta 1, that'll be it for 2025. Because then the week after that is Christmas week. And I wouldn't expect another beta to after New Year, which will land us right in 2026. So I would expect iOS 26.3 Beta 2 the week of January 5th, 2026, with Beta 3 releasing on the week of January 12th, and RC the week of December 19th. I might install Beta 3, but most likely it'll be the RC I install. So the week of January 19th, and a final release on January 26th. So we have a lot to look forward to in these next couple of updates. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Mr. Hawkins with Hawkins Tech, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.